Hey guys, Brian here, and today I will be going over the formative assessment code, except with a few exceptions. The stuff I'm about to highlight in blue is something that I've added to make this into a nested while loop. Because, I think it would be a good idea to know how to draw a nested while loop in case, it pops up. But basically the gist of it is everything's going to be relatively the same, just going to be a lot messier with a lot more diamonds. So as you can see, I already wrote down the basic stuff, start circle. I'm not going to write down the rules of the control flow graph, but remember, inputs and prints are going to be parallelograms. Anything simple, just going to be a rectangle. Don't forget your start and your end circles, and arrows have to be, they got to have that arrowhead. So right here, I pause the drawing when we're about to get into our first conditional statement, and just for the ease of, following along, we're going to handle true first. So whenever this is true and whenever this is true. So we're going to make our arrow go down. And in a while statement, it's going to be a diamond, and that diamond is going to be x does not equal to y. So this is while x does not equal to y. And remember, if statements and while statements or loops will have a diamond shape. So like I said, we're going to only do true for now. So label this as true, and we need to remember to go back here whenever it's false. And we can circle it just to remember that we gotta go back here. So when it's true, we encounter another while loop immediately, and because it's another while loop, all you have to do is simply just do another diamond. And it's hang on, before we do a diamond, it's a good idea to write out the line of code. So it's going to be counter less than 5, because while counter less than 5, that's the conditional right there. So counter less than 5, yeah, we're going to need a fat diamond for that. So while it's less than 5, let's first do the true again, true branch. Don't forget the false right here, what happens when it's false. So when it's true, it's counter plus equals 1, and because that doesn't involve the user, aka there's no input or print, we just make that a regular rectangle. So counter plus equals 1, so that's just going to be a rectangle. And immediately after, we're going to print the counter, and because it's a print statement, we're going to use a parallelogram. Alright, so once we do that, this is where this differentiates from a normal conditional statement. Because it's a loop, once we have finished executing this line of code, so the indent, there's nothing left. There's no other piece of code that we need to execute, so all we have to do now is bring an arrow and loop it all the way back. And that's why it's called a loop, because we're looping back. And this is going to keep running until this statement is false, and once this is false, then it'll get out of this while loop and finally execute this if statement. So when it's false, it's going to break out of this loop and then go execute these statements. So we're going to tackle the false right here, and we're just going to make it go to, another diamond. And that's x is greater than y. And this is just like your formative assessments. Let's tackle when it's true. If it's true, it's going to, here's true. It's going to do x minus equals y. Because that's a simple statement, there's no inputs or prints. That's just going to be a normal rectangle. And once this is true, it's going to loop back to the while loop, which, that's going to be really messy. So the reason why I'm doing this is because there's no more lines of code to execute, right? Because the if and else statements, only one of these can run. So same logic as here, we're going to loop back around. So let's just... it's going to be really messy. Loop back around here. And there we go. Next, we need to figure out when it's false, which is this else statement right here. So we can go here when it's false. Because it's a simple statement, there's no inputs or prints. We use a rectangle, y minus equals x. And, try and make it a little bit neater than me. I don't really have that much space here. So, yeah, once this is done, it's going to go here and meet up with this guy, and they're all going to loop back here. And once that's all done, we need to figure out what happens when this is false. When this is false, there's literally nothing else that is not indented, because everything is indented, and whenever this is false, that actually means the program ends. So this is all we have to do. Alright, so let's see. Did we get all the branches? So let's start from the start. We have our end right here. Let's go down. Everything makes sense. We loop back here when this is false. This is true, goes here, false goes here. All loops around this big guy and ends. So yeah, that's how you do nested control flow graph. It's a lot messier. As you can see, we have a lot of loops. We have 2 loops right here, and I had to kind of fit everything over here. So if you do decide to do this problem, or if you do encounter this problem, try and give yourself as much space and plan accordingly. I kind of planned pretty bad when it comes to the conditional statements right here. I could have done better. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and good luck with your exam tomorrow. Bye!